there is a lot of confusion about whether Barcelona is going to be receiving 50% of the 50 million euros that PSG will pay for Dembele. There's a lot of confusion. There's also confusion about how Dembele will be sold for 50 million euros and not 100 million euros. And that is the reason why I want to make this video. And lastly, we are also going to be talking about a player that has re-emerged onto the scenes that Barcelona is interested in signing. So if you guys are new here, welcome to the channel. I'm happy that you guys are here. Welcome to this Barcelona family. If you guys do want to support this YouTube channel, you guys can so by liking this video and subscribing to the channel. Also, if you do want to join our Discord where we do talk about football in general, you guys can so there is going to be a link that will take you straight to the chat down in the pinned comment below. And so if you do want to get closer to the Barcelona community, again, the Discord will be a great source for you to go into. So let's get one thing very clear and let's talk about why PSG will not pay 100 million euros for Dembele. And Fabrizio Romano has stated this: PSG have not activated La Liga's 50 million exit clause for Dembele, but because Dembele has sent a private letter to FC Barcelona, PSG have activated a private clause, meaning that PSG is saying, hey look, Dembele informed to you guys that he does want to leave, and we're going to use that as our private clause in order for the 50 million euros to be reactivated again, and we're going to stay away from the 100 million euros that was originally agreed on. And so I know that this sounds so crazy, like even it sounds crazy to me. Like I know that the way that I'm talking right now and how I'm like pulling out these numbers and how there is a private clause, it seems like I'm lying and I'm making this story up, but all of this is true. Like to me, I never even heard what a private clause is. Like the fact that PSG is able to debate and say that Dembele is worth 50 million euros and not 100 million euros only because Dembele sent a private offer in response to Barcelona before July 31st is crazy to me. And I feel like in a way the business being run by Barcelona was not so great. I feel like whatever was agreed upon in that contract last year was not fully checked, and they were definitely not ready for this humongous headache that Barcelona do have to go through. So again, that is the reason why PSG will give 50 million euros to Barcelona, is because they activated a thing called the private clause. So now let's move on towards the next conversation and let's talk about how Barcelona feel about this whole thing. So Barcelona have accepted this offer from PSG, and they said like, yeah, you're right, he is worth 50 million euros. But now this is where like the high tensions do come in, because now knowing that they're only going to give 50 million, now Barcelona is taking the debate against Dembele himself and the agent, and what they're arguing is how they're going to split the 50 million euros. And Barcelona is so serious on this that it has been confirmed by multiple sources that Barcelona is willing to fight a legal battle to retain all or most of the total 50 million euros that will be received by PSG. And so I hope that all of this is making sense. I hope that all of you guys are still here with me, because again, this is just so crazy. I never expected to see such drama from this operation. Ferran Correas has also claimed that Barcelona believes that Dembele does not have the right to claim half of the clause, which is 25 million euros, because he did not achieve his goals. Barcelona is ready to enter a legal dispute. So the transfer of Dembele to PSG, it will happen, and that is because again, PSG do have the right to pay 50 million euros and Barcelona will accept it. But now we are in a situation where we're going to be seeing like who is going to get the money and how much will Dembele get and how much will Barcelona get. And I hope that Barcelona get 95% of the amount, because you know 5% or 6% of the transfer fee does have to go towards the agent, because that's how an agent does get paid. But never in our minds should we ever think about giving 50% of a transfer fee to the agent and the player alone. And so in a way, right, like what I'm going to be saying here is all speculation. I'm not saying that this is true. This is just my speculation, okay? And again, this is my opinion. I just really feel like the fact that Dembele sent that formal letter to Barcelona before July 31st, I feel like he did that in a very tactical way. Like he knew what he was doing. He knew that he had to send that offer before July 31st. And I feel like because Dembele was in those negotiations on that contract renewal last year, he knew exactly what he needed to do in this summer, and all of this was planned out. He was always planning on leaving in the summer of 2023 and never even thought about staying at Barcelona for another 7 years. Now, every player has a right to leave whenever they want, but the thing that I really don't like about this whole thing is that Dembele multiple times in the media in the past 7 to 8 months did claim that he wanted to renew, that he's only focused on Barcelona, that he loves this club, he doesn't want to move anywhere, but only for him to just lie and say that I'm going to be doing exactly this on July 30th or July 31st because I want to make sure that my deal does go through regardless of how much I do get sold, and I want to go there now. It's very disturbing, right? Because we also do have to think about how Xavi treated Dembele. I've said this a lot in the past 4 to 5 videos. Xavi gave Dembele the most confidence. He gave him the most spoilingly. Like, I would get why Dembele would come out with a plan of saying, okay, I'm going to be leaving in the summer of 2023. Let's agree on this. I know exactly what to do to get myself off very easy and go to PSG or to a different club. But for him to have this idea and planning a exit while at the same time getting the best out of yourself because of Xavi through those months, it's like, bro, like, did you not once ever just rethink your ideas and say, you know what, screw that plan of going to PSG and making that private conversation to Barcelona in order for us to activate the 50 million euro release clause? I don't want to go anywhere. I want to stay here because Xavi does trust me. And so it's strange to me for him to always continue with the thought of eventually leaving in the summer of 2023 for sure. It's very strange. I wonder what made him change his mind also. Like, even if it was like true that this whole time he was never lying, that he wanted to stay at Barcelona and the only thing he's focused on is the renewal, I wonder what changed his mind to go on full force and to march away from Barcelona. Was it because he was not named as one of the captains of Barcelona? Maybe he felt some type of way of having Frankie, Araujo, Ter Stegen, and Sergio Roberto being one of the captains. Maybe Dembele said, hey, look, I've been here for 7 to 8 years and you guys still don't claim me as captain. And so it's very strange. As for Xavi Hernandez and how he feels about this whole thing, there is a big report that did surface about just how Xavi feels about this situation. And let me tell you guys, like, he will learn from having tough calls like this. I think that Xavi is in a way very inexperienced when it comes to knowing how players will move. And I think that next time he will get to a point where he's not going to be so heavily reliant on saying that this player is going to be one of my key players in my project. I don't think that he will go in that route anymore moving forward. I think that yes, he'll continue to count on Pedri and on Gavi and on Ansu Fati, on Alejandro Balde, Araujo, and say that yes, these are my key players for my project. But I don't think that he'll ever be so stunned again about one of his favorite players and most key players leaving away from Barcelona. I think that he will always, moving forward, have a plan B for any player that might potentially leave that is considered a key player. Because right now, Xavi Hernandez, you better bet, like, in the boardroom, he's really betting to see who should be his replacement, and like, he's analyzing everything. We have talked about Joao Felix, we have talked about Bernardo Silva. There's also other players being talked about that could come, but it does say here that several people, including a senior agent, approached to Laporta over the past few months and told him that PSG have contacted Dembele's camp and they should keep an eye on it. Laporta spoke with Xavi about it, but Xavi assured Laporta that he had complete confidence in Dembele and that the Frenchman only thinks about Barcelona, just like he did say in many interviews. Xavi was the person who protected Dembele in difficult moments and always trusted him no matter what others said. Sources at the club say that Xavi was left stunned for several hours at the hotel when Dembele informed him of his decision. The coach feels completely betrayed and he has received no sign from Dembele that he wants or is open to leaving. Even in the dressing room, the players couldn't digest the decision of Dembele, a player who from last season started to connect with everyone and was very loved. No one believed it despite the news in the last few days coming from a source from the dressing room. So that is going to be the story of today. Obviously, whatever does happen with this Dembele operation, on whether Barcelona get 95% of the total 50 million euro amount, we will be talking about here in this YouTube channel. We'll talk about everything about this operation immediately on YouTube and live. The next video after you guys watch this will be about Barcelona versus AC Milan. I'm making this video before this match is going to be starting, and so stay tuned for that. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.